You dey rush well, you dey mash. Ajé, ajé, ajé. Morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. This is how we do it. As we get heated up, we pull off. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you. Wherever you are, get up and move. Move it. Let's do it together. Thank you. Thank you. We are talking about exercise while moving it. Move with me. Let's talk about it because it has become a very important aspect of life. A whole lot of us are coming down with a whole lot of illnesses, diseases. We don't even know why. It's true, it's not just about the exercise, but exercise plays a very important role on how your body utilizes whatever you put inside of it. Today we are talking about how exercise supports your detoxification. Because I support children with neurodevelopmental challenges, I know what detoxification means for them. This is why I've chosen to talk about it today. But don't be deceived by the name. This is applicable to anybody that's a human. As the humans, our bodies are working exactly the same, except that we have peculiarities. Now today, if we address exercise as it affects nutrition, as it affects detoxification, we are going to see that on different levels, on so many different levels, exercise needs to be incorporated into our daily life. Thank you. Thank you, Pretty Me. Thanks so much. Our daily life has to be, intertwined with our exercise. So there are three different ways we are going to look at the impact of exercise on detoxification. If you watch our video on Thursday, we talked about how exercise impacts on utilization of nutrients, how exercise impacts on supply of oxygen to our cells. So today we are now talking about how does exercise support detoxification. So on that video, we saw that when you are moving your body, the nutrients get pumped into the cell. And if the cell is like a container, you will realize that when something comes in, something has to go out. So when the nutrients get in, the toxicants have to go out. And when the cells are on their top-notch functionality, they recycle and they detoxify. So in that sense, we see that exercise supports the body to remove toxicants by pumping nutrients and oxygen into the cells and helping them to work harder or work better and smarter. I think today I'm going to be able to remove my clothes earlier. Yeah. So when you exercise, the blood is being pumped into your body, and when the blood goes in, it goes in with nutrients, it goes in with oxygen. Welcome, like, share, so we can learn together. Today we are talking about the impact of exercise on detoxification. It's not just for children, for neurodivergent children. It is for everyone. Everyone is made up of cells. As long as you have cells, detoxification happens. And as long as you have a body, as long as there are things going into your body, detoxification has to happen. So on that note, I will encourage you to please stay by and listen to what we have to say today. Today we are talking about exercise and detoxification. Exercise and detoxification. What has exercise got to do with detoxification? Because a lot of people only associate exercise and weight loss. How does it even happen? Remember, shedding excess fat is almost like a detoxification process. Yes, if you don't know, just put that one in your pocket today. A whole lot of people associate exercise with weight loss. But don't forget that removing excess weight is also a form of detoxification. So when you are out moving your body, you are also detoxifying. Well, the most logical one is when your sweat is everywhere and all the toxicants are coming out with the sweat. But how does it happen? How it happens is that when you exercise, when you move your body, nutrients, oxygen is being pumped into your cells and the toxins are being removed. Are you intrigued by that? How exercise helps your body to pump in nutrients, oxygen into your body and then brings out toxicants. That, my friend, is just one of the so many ways that exercise helps in detoxification. Now, this is very special to neurodivergent children, what I'm about to say now. If you are neurodivergent, if you have a child that is neurodivergent, if you have a ward that is neurodivergent, yes. If you have a student that is neurodivergent, listen to this. Neurodivergent children or adolescents or people have a particular genetic makeup that makes it difficult for their body to detoxify, effectively. So what happens now is that when you and I can normally remove toxicants from our body, these children do not, they can't. It's a difficult thing for their system to push away what it doesn't want. So you will ask me, so how does exercise help with that? Pay close attention. On our previous videos, we spoke about what we call mitochondria. Mitochondria is the part of the cell that converts the food you eat to energy. In that our previous video, we also said that when you exercise, your body tends to produce more cells around the area that you exercise. So a whole lot of these children are not able to use their fecal muscles, their colorectal muscles, to pass out fecal matters. So in a lot of cases, we see children, adolescents, neurodivergent people who are constipated. Now listen, even if you are not neurodivergent, I'm sure you must have experienced constipation at one point or the other. This is something you experience like a week or so and it's gone. Think about a child that for 4 years he's continuously experiencing constipation. It's unimaginable. The kind of suffering they are going through is unimaginable. And you know what makes it more difficult is that they can't even tell. They can't even tell their parents that they are constipated. The only thing the parents have to know is that they are uncomfortable. And then those that are very observant will observe that, oh my God, for 5 days, for 1 week straight, for 2 weeks straight, my child has not passed any fecal matter. So you can imagine the stress both on the child and on the parents. So in such situations, we look at how does exercise help to support these children. That is what we are looking at today. But like I said, don't forget, this is applicable to everyone. It is applicable to all individuals. So moving forward, we say that exercise helps the body to produce more mitochondria to the site of exercise. This means more cells. So when there are more cells, it's logical that the activity there increases. The activity there becomes more efficient. So if anybody is having constipation as a result of colorectal muscle weakness, when you exercise, there are better distribution of cells to that area of your body that impacts on removal of fecal matters. I don't know if this makes sense, but if you look at it, you say that, okay, let's say that there were only 3 men trying to move the fecal matter out of the child. Men, this time I'm talking about cells. So if there were only 3 cells working to move the fecal matter and it's not happening, by the time you exercise, it's like deploying more men to the site of the duty, to the duty front. you are deploying more cells to the front, to the colorectal muscle, to help the child to be able to move their fecal matter out of their body. As a form of deviation, let's even talk about what could happen if one does not have fecal movement for days. What could happen? Forget about the discomfort. In addition to the discomfort, you don't want to know what's going on in the inside of these children. This fecal matter is being reabsorbed into their system. Have you imagined yourself eating fecal matter? Yeah. When you do not pass them, it's like feeding your body again with fecal matter. And we have a whole lot of these children who are constipated. I know a whole lot of parents doing a lot of things to ensure that their children are passing the second one at least once in two days. There are parents today that if you ask them if they want even once in 2 weeks, it will be like a miracle. It will be like a miracle to that child, to that household, that their baby can defecate once in a week. So, if you think that it's a very light discussion, then think again. It's not that simple. When children are not able to defecate, it's a very serious condition. Apart from absorbing back into their system, because their bodies are still young, because their bodies are still small, it takes just a little while to get back to vital organs. It's not like if you're big, it will take a while before it could travel from all the way to here. But when you are small, it takes just a little while to recirculate back into your system. And that, my friend, is a very bad situation. When a child cannot pass fecal matter, it's a very serious situation. Let me tell you a story of a boy, a 4-year-old boy, that in his 4 years, the 3 years of his life, he was constipated. This constipation was ongoing, and each time they go to the hospital, they are given laxatives. They are given things like Miralax, things like, laxatives. Now, nobody thought about, what am I relaxing? If this boy had only about 10 cells working on his colorectal muscles, they would be able to do the job, except you add more men. So how do you add more men? You add more men by producing more cells. So how do you produce more cells? It's either you produce more cells or you make the cells that are working stronger. Now let's talk about how you can make the cells that are working stronger. You can make the cells that are working stronger by increasing the efficacy of their mitochondria. And the efficacy of the mitochondria can only be increased using things like acetyl L-carnitine and CoQ10. Now, if you do not go that route, a very cheap, affordable, simplest way of making this colorectal muscle to work better is by increasing the number of cells. So how do you increase the number of cells? Exercise. Does that make sense? Exercise is a very good way of increasing the number of cells that is working in any part of your body. That is why when you want to be intelligent, they ask you to study. There's no two ways about it. When you are studying, more cells are being deposited at the site of exercise. So studying is a mental exercise. So when you are studying, more cells are being produced in your brain. So when a child is constipated, or when anybody for that matter is constipated, when you exercise, more muscles, more cells, more mitochondria are being formed at that site of exercise. And believe me, walking is an exercise that moves the whole body. The whole body participates in a walking exercise. So today, like I mentioned, we have talked about 2 ways that exercise helps in detoxification. Sorry. 2 ways that exercise helps in detoxification. Number 1 is by helping the body to pump nutrients and oxygen into the cells. By doing this, the nutrients and the oxygen ultimately replaces whatever the toxicants that are in the cells. Then another one is by producing additional cells at the site of exercise, known as mitochondria. When these additional cells are produced, more energy from the food you eat is converted, more of the food you eat is converted to energy, because the mitochondria is the site of energy conversion. It is at the mitochondria that the food you eat is being converted to energy. I hope this makes sense. We said we are going to talk about 3 ways that exercise helps in constipation. Can anybody guess what the 3rd way is? Whoa. So the 3rd way is through the muscles of your stomach. There is also what we call peristaltic movement. Any food you eat gets into the stomach. Apart from the chewing, well, this is more or less connected to the last one, which is the mitochondrial function. When there are more energy in your stomach, there is more efficient turning of the food you eat. And the food you eat, when they are churned, it's called churning. When they are properly churned, what it means is that there is higher volume, higher surface area to volume ratio, meaning that more surface is exposed for the functioning of the enzymes. So when your stomach muscles, you see, as I'm walking, this is what is happening. This is what is happening. Are you feeling it? As I'm doing this, the stomach muscle is moving. It's moving. It's churning. It's churning. So with this movement, apart from also creating more mitochondria, there's also that physical movement which supports the breakdown of the food you eat. When the food is broken down properly, the body will utilize what it needs and the rest will be gone. But if it doesn't break down properly, my friend, you are losing almost half of what you are giving your body. Think about it like, if this is a food and you have your enzymes to break it down, and this now goes like this, everything inside here will not be captured, and that is a loss to your body. But if this is a food and my enzyme comes and goes around it like this, do you think anything will be left behind? No, it will break down everything. Am I coughing with him? So, if there is less surface area to volume ratio, your food will not be properly broken down. With proper churning, there is more surface area to volume ratio. And what that means is that your body is using your nutrients. Well, if you don't think this makes sense, just listen to it again and drink it in. Exercise is an elixir to health. You can't go wrong with it. There's no lose game. It's a win-win all the way. Are you the person that loves to lose weight and you want to eat everything you like? I have a secret. Learn to exercise. Yes. Learn to exercise. I love eating everything I like, but I don't want to add. Exercise. That's my secret. Do you know what weight is? Weight is excess to what your body needs. So they get accumulated and get stored like fat, like this. That is weight. That is when it said that you are adding weight. But if by the end of the day I've eaten what I do not need, and I stand up and exercise, this is how much I have removed this morning. Still doing what I love to do. Talking to you. I have removed that much and still here, speaking with you, interacting with you. So would you rather keep your fat and lose your money, like we said the other day? Or would you rather keep your money and lose your fat? In this case, there's no money. Well, the money will be when you are going to treat some conditions that come with overweight. Yes. If you go on to treat any condition that comes with overweight, that one is on you. That's not from the village. That's not from anybody. That is from you. There is no excuses when it comes to health. When I was in one entrepreneurial school, we read a book. The first book we were given is No Excuses. And I tell you, yeah, reality is hit. But at the end of the day, there are no excuses. By the time you think about it, there's actually no excuses. You can turn your excuse into opportunities. You ask me how? Now, let's relate it to what we are talking about today. If your child is neurodivergent and all they want to do is probably just, sit down in the house, and then that becomes your excuse for not going out to exercise. So why yeah. A lot of parents with neurodivergent children feel that their excuse is because they have neurodivergent children. Now, today, Why don't you use that child's condition to kill two stones, to use that one stone and kill two birds? Today we are telling you that taking that child out for exercise is not just supporting their physical health, it is also supporting yours. It's supporting yours as their caregiver, as their mother. It is also supporting the child's physical health, and it's also supporting you. Because believe me, if the child does exercise long enough, it's also supporting their mental health. And by the time a neurodivergent child is mentally improved, it reduces the job on you as a carer. It brings down the job on you as a carer. When your child gets to that stage where you can say, oh, go and pick my purse for me upstairs. Oh, go and have your bath. Oh, go to bed without screaming and shouting. Do you think you can buy that with money? No, my friend. You can't. You can't buy off the kind of anxiety, the pressure, the hard work that comes with raising a neurodivergent child. You can't pay it off. It's on you, it's with you. But look, even in your state of mind, if you take that child out and move your body with that child, you will be elevating your own mental state while elevating the mental state of that child and still improving the physical state of that child. I don't know how I can capture this to make it like, to capture everything it is about. If you are a mother, a parent, a teacher, or anyone in any capacity, a carer, supporting a neurodivergent child, exercise is the cheapest, it's still affordable, most accessible way to improve both your life and the life of your lovely one. Exercise. By the time you stand up there, wherever you're sitting right now, jump up, pick your child, take a walk. Even if the child is not walking, the act of movement, the fresh air, the beauty of the outside, it improves the state of the mind. And let's just assume the child can walk. We are talking about neurodivergence, not necessarily physically challenged. The neurodivergent ones that are mobile, hold their hand, take a walk. 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. If you would be honest to yourself, you will come back here and tell me how rewarding that exercise was. I challenge you, parents to neurodivergent children, this is a challenge. Pick your child today, move out with your child. If they are mobile, take that walk and record the difference. As you are recording the difference for your child, please record the difference for yourself. It doesn't just improve your physical state, it also improves your mental state. You become more positive, you become more cheerful, and when you are mentally more balanced, it's like a mirror on your child. You can visualize your child improving by the day. Actually, when it's about healing, I usually ask neurodivergent parents to neurodivergent children to pray for their own healing, because your child's healing is largely dependent on your own healing. And your own healing is very important to facilitate your own child's healing. A whole lot of times when we see our children very on the edge, it's most times a reflection of your own frustration. When you are calm and you are collected and you are cheerful, believe me, your child will be better off for it. And a whole lot of times we get frustrated because our expectations are not being met in our children. The children get frustrated because they see you frustrated. Yes, believe me, a lot of times the children get frustrated because they see their mother frustrated. They see their carer frustrated. Have we sat down one day to think about what they are also going through? A whole lot of us always think about, look at me, I am here, I am stuck, I am this. Have we sat down for one day and considered what they are also going through, what their challenges are putting them through? Have you seen yourself? Have you challenged yourself not to be able to express how you feel just for 1 hour? I think this should be, I think we should put ourselves on this challenge for one day. Let's bring out 1 hour and stay mute. Don't say anything. Don't do any eye movements kind of communication. No verbal, no body language. And oh my goodness, even as I'm saying this, it's dawning on me. It's dawning on me how terrible it can actually be for a person not to be able to express themselves. It's the most frustrating situation. And right now, I am asking you, do you want all this to happen? Now, back to the story of the boy. It's been a long time I started it. As soon as we started addressing his constipation, he became verbal, he became interactive, he became a different child entirely. It's so amazing. You can go to our YouTube channel, Brain Foods for Gods. You can go there and read the mother's testimonial. How Brain Foods changed my son's mental health. It's amazing. It is beyond amazing what these improvements, what these adjustments can do to the lives of these neurodivergent children. If you're a parent, even if you don't have a neurodivergent child, it can be frustrating to be constipated. Constipation is hurting your physical health. Constipation is hurting your emotional health. Constipation is practically driving you insane. In fact, if it doesn't happen after a certain number of days, in a hospital, you are a hospital case. So think about it. Do you want to get to that level where you have to lose work hours because of constipation? You want to get to that level when you want to lose, family time because of constipation? Or do you want to get to that level when clogged up fecal matter must have punctured something in your intestine, and you have to deal with leaky guts, and you have to deal with allergies, and you have to deal with everything that comes with got dysbiosis. And when it's fun time, say, no, I can't have that. No, I can't have that. My doctor said I can't have this. And that, my friend, could be as a result of impact of constipation of a long time ago. Do you want to miss out on, let's say, office lunches, office events, just because you might be, Tricia, thanks for joining, just because you might be having a food sensitivity? That's, my friend, is something we have to talk about one of these days. How is constipation contributing to food sensitivity? Yes, constipation is a thing. Don't look at it like, oh, it's just constipation. I just haven't been to the loo for 3 days. What? And you're still sitting down. Get up and jump. You haven't been to the loo for 3 days and you're still sitting on your couch. Oh my goodness. Do yourself a favor. Get up and move. Constipation is evil. No. Am I supposed to be saying that word? Constipation is not it. Please, don't allow it to deprive you of good time. What? My music gone. Don't allow constipation to rule you. Don't allow constipation to occupy your life. Like I said, it can lead to several other things. Several, not just one, several. By the time those fecal matter is being reabsorbed into your bloodstream, you don't want to know what's happening. Or do we say, by the time the strong fecal matter begins to puncture your intestinal walls, you don't want to know what that does. This could lead to leaky gut. Leaky gut is where there are holes in your intestine. And when these holes are there, they can lead to many things. Leaky gut is not it. You don't want to go there. How do you want to do it? Get up and move. If you want to get away from constipation, get up and move. Trisha, come by again. Hit the like button. So we talked about 3 ways that exercise helps to address constipation. Bowel movements, visiting the loo, whatever you call it in your language, it is a necessary body activity. So number 1 is that through exercise, your muscle, look at. That's a call. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you for today. I got to meet my family.